Hello and welcome back to the newest episode of the Film Cave, starring Steve, me, and that's
And
Casey,
me, Casey.
and our medals that we got
Our medals.
from our 24 hours. Anyway, this is the Film Cave. Here we go.
Let's do it. Dude, are you still tired? Did you catch up on some sleep?
I did catch up on some
Good.
sleep.
Yeah. I
So
got
as,
like 12 hours
Good,
in one night.
and that's good.
Mhm.
You should get 12 hours. So
Yeah.
we just wanted to mention that we did go see our 24. We'll end up being
It was
what
26 and a half hour
officially 26 and a
Ultimate
half
Marvel
hours.
movie marathon.
Started out
Yeah.
with Iron Man, went all the way through past Guardians, all the way up to Ultron,
All the way up to Ultron.
and then
It
they
was-
gave us a medal
It was epic. The
that
metal
spins,
puke bucket.
puke popcorn bucket,
and
and it was awesome.
It was legendary.
Right, and there was only a few things that I was afraid of. There was going to be too many nerdy geeks getting all crazy, which I would okay with
There were
as long
some.
as it wasn't out of control, which it was perfect.
Yeah.
There were some, but it wasn't out of control, and that the person next to me didn't smell. Because
That was me.
I'd have to sit next to him for 26 hours, and then I had to sit next to this guy.
No, there was the smelly guy in our row though.
Right.
Luckily, he disappeared after like a movie and a half, and then came back for Ultron.
Right. Having said that, like I don't understand why people would come to the show and then leave for a few shows, come back for maybe a little bit of one, and then leave again, or
Yeah.
like go sleep in the hallway. Isn't the point of coming to this to stay awake for all of them? That's what I didn't get.
I don't know.
We stayed
that
awake.
that was kind of what I wanted to do, was see if I could
That was
do
the whole point, I
Mhm.
thought. Anyway, we stayed awake for the whole thing. I think we dozed off a couple of times,
Yeah,
but we
but
were
just
on
for a
each
few
other.
seconds,
Yeah.
and we were like, hey,
It's time to wake
it's
up.
time to wake up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
We
it was
got it.
crazy though. Like I was
Mhm.
so deliriously tired, I felt drunk
Yeah.
at times. Like, and I had water most of the time, like
Mhm.
maybe a soda here and there. But I felt like I had the spins sometimes when I'd like close my eyes for a second.
Right.
It
Well,
was
that was the problem.
Very, very crazy. A
No,
lot of screen absorption for
Right.
our eyes.
So as I was saying, so I didn't know this going into it, but before they started the whole thing, they said that they mentioned that Ultron was going to be in 3D. So now, not only do we have to watch 24 hours of movies, then we have to put on
Then the
the
3D
awful
glasses.
3D glasses that
Yeah.
was totally unnecessary for the movie.
On our very tired eyes.
Right, which totally, I guess it worked. It was all right. It worked out, but
Yeah.
I don't think they should have done it.
What did you think of the movie?
So I thought the movie,
Besides the 3D.
besides the 3D, was okay, but the movie itself was epic.
Yeah, it was fun.
Everything, it was kind of like everything you wanted to see happened, like Iron Man fighting Hulk, which was awesome.
Yep.
And
The
then-
Hulkbuster suit.
Yep, you find out more about the Quicksilver in this Marvel universe because there's two of them,
Right?
and then you find out about the new character Scarlet Witch,
Yes.
which was an
Mhm.
awesome character, and then you find out this whole huge backstory for Hawkeye, which was
Oh,
awesome.
yeah.
It was such a
That was a
good
great-
part of the movie
great
because
story.
they all the big ones have their own their own series, that all the background to them and all that kind of stuff. Even Black Widow has her own kind of thing with Captain America, but the Hulk and Hawkeye don't really have too much backstory in this universe.
hmm
And you get a whole backstory with him, which was great, and I loved that part of it.
That was nice. That was,
Showed a
that
lot
was a
for
cool
him
surprise.
to his character.
Big step up. I love the balance that Joss Whedon can create with all these characters. I mean, there's so many epic characters, and he gives all of them enough to do for most of the movie. I know Joss has been, I guess he's been taking a lot of hits online, and being attacked by some feminist groups
Mhm.
about the
The way he did Black Widow.
Black Widow
Yep.
and the Hulk storyline, and are they not romantically going to be
Mm-hmm.
involved
Together.
I think first of all it looks like it would be very, very difficult to work for Marvel Studios, especially right now when you've created so many of these worlds.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it just must be so tough as a visionary like Joss Whedon is, to have to clamp down on that said vision about like a certain direction that that he would want to go, but the studio is pulling him back to say, no, we need you to do this, this, and this to get in line for 3 other movies that are coming out, in the next 2 to 3 years.
Right. They actually did an interview with Feige about that whole thing, and he said that they gave him the right to do what he wanted to do, and they don't like to do that. What you just said, basically,
that they don't like to do that.
They don't like to say you need to follow this line for this character because we're doing this later on. But they do give him hints towards what they want to do with this character, and that he can't just do whatever he wants with this character necessarily.
It seemed to me like
there is this hand on his shoulder saying, "Look, we're letting you direct this movie, but we're going to be right here watching you do the right thing for the future of this whole thing."
Yeah, and I've heard a few conflicting reports that the studio was very heavily involved in this one, way more than the first Avengers movie.
Well, it's twice as big, I think.
Well, yeah, absolutely, but
more characters,
everything. Now that I've seen the movie a couple times, and like just being online, you see it all over the place. I'm seeing a lot of what Joss's original vision was supposed to be, like Thor's original subplot,
the Hulks too.
A lot of stuff was altered. And a lot of, it looked like a lot of stuff was deleted. There were some things that didn't quite fill in nicely or get finished properly.
Yep.
Some things were taken care of in a really nice way, but not everything. So now there's the announcement of more and more deleted scenes and an alternate ending and stuff like that. So there's a lot of other, apparently Joss Whedon had like a 3-hour and 20-minute cut of the movie for the first time. And be like, I would be really interested in seeing that.
Right,
that'd be an epic director's cut.
Right.
That would be really cool.
He also said that there was a huge Hulk scene that he cut in post, because it kind of took Hulk in this whole different direction. And he said, I'm not going to show that. I don't want it to give away too much to the character or to the development of this, but it's out there. And this could be a standalone Hulk movie in development, just from this idea that he had already shot for this movie. So that's
interesting
something to think about.
Okay, well, it sounds like we're in agreement. Like we both enjoyed the movie. It's really fun.
It was a fun.
Yeah,
great to watch.
It's interesting to see. And Joss Whedon, like he quits Twitter. Like did you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Like he's gotten all sorts of angry tweets in his direction.
I think that's kind of social network.
Fictional characters. Like, this isn't real. Get angry about something in the real world. There's a lot of stuff to piss you off going on in the real world.
And it's supposed to be
You don't need to threaten
fun.
a director
and
to curb stomp him. That's ridiculous.
It's supposed to be for fun, It's supposed to be for him to kind of have an outlet to talk about this stuff that he likes to do, which is kind of what
this whole thing is definitely
about.
Not going to be perfect compared to the storylines in the comics and stuff
like
that.
It has nothing to do with that. I think it has a lot to do with just people being angry for the wrong reasons and then taking it out of him on social network because that's the only way that they think they can get a hold of him, and they're ruining it for everybody else who doesn't care that much to attack somebody who made a movie that they didn't like the right way.
Get a freaking life.
Exactly.
All right.
That's what I'd say
We
about
will
that.
be back with part 2.
Dose.
Part 2.
Thanks for watching.